Right, so I think I'm going to try to get over to Gooding and see what it's like over there. I know the library's closed today and tomorrow. It closed today at 12 noon. I was told it's a pretty nice town. I'm curious. I'm hearing weird noises. It's in the inside of the car, maybe. Just got to be sensitive to everything. So I'm nervous about everything. So yeah, it's kind of a backwoods city. You know what I like Shoshone. It's pretty relaxed. I get electricity at the park. I can cook there. Mostly privacy and stuff. But it's somewhat quiet once again. But this train track stuff the trains are pretty active, and that is extremely loud. Particularly the horns. The horns really force me to cover my ears. It's just so loud, and they have to blare the horns at every intersection. They have to deafen you to alarm you of their approach. But yeah, it's pretty nice. And I went to the museum, checked that out, got some recordings. I'm not sure when I'll be able to post any of this. Let's see. No parking anytime. So, yeah, I've been thinking about this car and how I'm going to repair it, because I need to bang in that inner wheel well. I'm thinking I'm just going to advertise on Craigslist for somebody around Twin Falls to help me bang in the inner wheel well. I don't think I should do it on my own. I'm going to see maybe if somebody can respond in Gooding and 15 miles there. See if somebody can respond, and you know, maybe I'll start out with offering 20 and see what happens. And I'll post the video where it shows my redneck approach to trying to repair the outer body, and that, because that kind of shows the problem I still currently am holding on to with the tires still rubbing on things. You know, just maybe try to get a more professional person, because there's definitely a lot of mechanics out there that know more than me about cars and stuff. I'm gonna advertise for that, see who I can get, try to knock out this inner wheel well problem, and then I could go into getting new tires. You know, when I feel comfortable that the bumps are out of the way, that it should be safe for a new tire to operate in there, then I'll get new tires and align the car, and that should stop the squeaking at a 55 and above. And it probably can discover any other problems with the wheels in some way, like maybe the rotor or something. So just gonna work on that. Just gonna move timidly. But yeah, when I get to Gooding, I'll see if maybe I can get on the internet and put out the advertisement, and then just, you know, it's like putting out a fishing line. I'm fishing for business here. See how that works out. Wow, this is some flat area, flat sagebrush. When I was at the museum, the lady was telling a guy about a man who was stabbed out in let's see, it's BLM land, which BLM is not Black Lives Matter. It's something, the Bureau of Land Management. So the BLM movement can go two ways, I guess. So there's a guy who was getting tortured out in the BLM lands a year or two ago, and he got stabbed in the back and a couple fingers cut off. Doesn't happen very often around here, but it did. And I don't know, she had like first-hand knowledge of it or second-hand knowledge from a friend. But yeah, that kind of stuff happens. It sounds like it probably was about drugs. You know, either people are killing each other for money or drugs. Open range? Alright. So, let's see how that works out. You know, there's savagery that can pop up at times. I'm not really in any of that type of activity myself. I keep my distance. But, you know, I could always happen in on something. I could also, you know, just be wandering around and be a witness to a murder. And that's it. You know, I'm on the run for my life. That's happened to people in the past. Just happen across money or something. You know, I'm not out looking for things to steal. If I find $5 on the sidewalk, I'll keep it. But I'm not actively staking out places. And that could be giving, you know, the way my videos are set up, it could be giving people the impression that I'm out staking areas in case I might want to return to steal. Not really. I'm just fascinated by places, but I'm not really. I can't fit anymore in my car. I haven't set up any storage areas. I don't know any good spots to hide things. Although you could probably get a nice shovel and you could hide some things around here. I'm not really in that kind of business. YouTube just helps with the monetization. That's good enough. I mean, you know, barely paying for gas with it. And then food stamps help barely enough for food. Actually, not even enough. And yeah, I was reading this this traveling nowhere book. It's about hobos hopping trains, which I just saw a video yesterday of some guy hopping trains, and he did terribly with it. He couldn't get away with it for anything. He was failing left every time. Got arrested a few times, but I mean that's modern time. Hopping trains really isn't very easy. Boxcars seem to get phased out now. But this guy, this book I'm reading, it's very fascinating, and he was hopping trains in the early '80s, which that was a time when boxcars are starting to get phased out. They're switching over. If you watch the ships that come in on the Pacific, I got some video of that. Ships coming in, they have these boxes on the ships. They use those same boxes on the trains. So they got this setup for quick delivery, for just easier storage. So you don't have to take the stuff out of these boxes. You just transfer the boxes from the ship to the train or to the semi. You know, I'm not familiar with the boxes on semis though. They probably have to physically pull the stuff out of the boxes, these travel boxes. And these boxes are used for homes too. When they're decommissioned or something, people will turn them into homes, cut a door on them or something, and maybe a window or two, and then they got a box home. But you can't really hop so much anymore because of the switch away from the box cars to using these box freight things. But the people in the early '80s were hopping quite a bit, and they were really taking advantage of the food stamps. Okay, I can't do that. You know, I switch from one state to the next. It's not like I get a double coverage. They have a better system of checking. Maybe people are using false names still and taking advantage of the food stamps, doubling theirs up. I don't bother. I accept my $200 and try to work with it. There's food banks to work with, so I can deal with that. But in this book, Rolling Nowhere, which I'm about halfway through it. It's a really great book. And this guy is talking about people who are hopping from state to state on the rails and getting food stamps. and they have to wait like a week to be approved for their food stamps or something, and they wait, and then when they get approved, they move on to the next state, get more food stamps, and just kind of use that. I mean, it's only for food. They don't get a card. They don't get like the little check swipe card like I do. Like, you know, today they had to use actual paper stamps, I think, and then they would like buy certain things where they would get change, and then they'd save up that change to buy alcohol. I've gotten change in the past when I've requested refunds for, I don't know, I forget the reasons. I've gotten money, I've gotten cash refunds in the past. This only happened 2 or 3 times out of my few years of being on food stamps now. But they were really some people will really take advantage of that. You could still, I mean, I was able to take advantage of getting cash back. It's really no big advantage though, because when you're on food stamps, if the state charges taxes to buy the food, then that tax is eliminated when you use the food stamps. So it makes no sense to try to turn it into cash, and then if you had to buy the food, you'd get charged tax with the cash. So it's more economical to stick with the cash, unless you're so small that you don't really need to eat $200, unless you got such a system well worked out where you could go to the food banks and go to the free meal sites and take advantage of that to the point where you don't even need the $200 food stamps, because you're able to eat for practically free from other places, and the food stamps are just a luxury. I've been to a couple places like that, McMinnville and Boise. I was surprised, you know, I actually had extra money at the end of the month in Boise for a couple of months, and then that money just kind of gets cycled back into the food stamps program. I've tried to, like, you know, stock up on things a little bit, but yeah, there's quite a bit of food to be had in Boise that'll tide you over pretty good. You don't get that all the places, small towns especially not. It's a little more difficult. But these guys, they knew their routes. They jump on the right trains. They knew which ones to hit, and yeah, take advantage of that food bank stuff. That scam. I don't know how I got involved. How I got on that topic exactly. Soil Conservation District, Gooding County, a new county. Soil conservation, my butt. There's no way you're conserving anything out here. This land is lost. This is the lost land. You can't conserve this. It's just, it is what it is. It's not anything. Turn it into farmland, water it up for farmland. That's the best you can get. I don't know. Maybe, you know, if it's, you know, the problem is going so bad that maybe if people are dumping toxic waste out here, then yeah, you'd want to start a conservation program to stop toxic waste dumping. You don't want You don't want waste dump sites for toxic waste just anywhere. So sure, labeling this as a conservation site as in no toxic dumping. Maybe that's a good program. I don't know exactly the details of what goes on with the conservation projects, but you know, their priorities might be a little different around out here as compared to like the temperate rainforest areas of Washington. Their conservation efforts are a little bit different, I would think. You know, their approaches and stuff. It'd be interesting to compare and contrast, but that's something else. Nice and green off to the left. They really water. They're not currently watering. There's no water going right now. This looks like it'll be the last hot day. I'm not so enthused about jumping down south into Twin Falls yet on a day like this. It's 80 degrees today, although it may not make too much of a difference. And the library's closed up here. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I'm not too enthused. I sat around Shoshone partly because I'm lazy, and also because I did want to hit that museum, and I was not disappointed. I liked the stuff I saw in there. It's pretty neat. all that old-timey stuff. I'm gonna upload it as soon as I can. You know, it's just it depends. Gooding, the factors on what will keep me there are: is there outside electricity somewhere, outside internet, and just bathrooms? How friendly does it look? I was told it looks nice, but is it nice for me? Is it nice for sleeping and being a car sleeper? Find out the hard way. It's not too far off from that other town. You know, if I just got to decide. See, there's a library now that I was really considering. It's open till 5, and I don't know if I want to just make a flash pass through Gooding and try to get to that library. It's open till 5. It's very tempting. Just drive through Gooding and then just bounce as quick as I can down to that Jerome, I think. But I mean, how are the arrangements in Gooding? I don't know. They might be positive. Yeah, the library might be closed today and tomorrow. But what if they have outside electricity? What if there's available bathrooms? I could, you know, I have no problem. In this kind of weather, you know, 80 degrees is pushing it, but next couple of days after today should look better. I could just sit in my car and use the internet, plug in, be near the Wi-Fi. If it's good speeds too. I mean, it's really, you really take a chance with that. And I gotta say too, let me just add, I might be a little more talkative because I had some coffee. I had a little coffee. So I'm a little more energetic right now, I guess. I had coffee and catnip, and also lemon balm too. But the caffeine in that coffee take over. It really does. All right, I gotta look for this turn. It's got to be coming up. Yeah, Gooding Ward is coming up. Okay. I forget. It's like Highway 46. Highway 46 turns into Main Street. I take a left on 5th. So I'm looking for 46. Going 55. Car's not really shaking. I guess I haven't been pushing the speed. Some guy told me that shaking is going to be a misalignment issue in a lot of ways. So I got to work on that alignment. Got to work on the inner portion of the well. Get that fixed so I can replace all the costs. But the costs aren't going to be pretty. But I'll just have to deal with it, see where I'm at with my finances after getting all that. I mean, I just got to keep conserving, sticking with the smaller budgets. You know, not be tempted to go to a restaurant and eat. I don't need to spend that kind of money. I don't need that service. I can cook myself as long as I find the right spots. I just cooked some eggs today. I cooked 6 eggs. They're still in my car. I mixed some greens. I cooked the eggs in a hot water, like when you poach an egg, and then it's hot water, and pour the greens in, and yeah, the greens kind of did a cooking with that hot water in a way, and it all tastes fairly good. Poured some dehydrated milk in there. Tastes pretty good. So 45 miles an hour. There's a stoplight. That might be Highway 46. Drops to 35 miles an hour approaching a stoplight. I'm guessing 46 has got to be this stoplight. Man, I really had a lot of coffee, I think. Population 3567. Yeah, this has got it. It says 26 ahead. 46. Okay. So 46 will turn into Main Street. Looks like a house. Proactive behavioral health. So, oh, there's the McDonald's, I see. I saw that on the map. So they're not afraid to bring in franchises here. See some little Mexican kids. That's interesting. Oh, so I can go here, it looks like. Gem Community. Welcome to the city of Gooding. They don't give any warnings like keep your dogs on leashes or no soliciting. No soliciting without a permit. It's just simply welcome to Gooding. That's friendly enough. So 5th Avenue. This is 21st. Wow. It's quite a few blocks down. Let's see, what do we got? Rockin' Realty. And you got their faces. Rockin' Realty. Alright. So that's different. That's one of the most southern type of laid back realty businesses. King's, I don't know what that is. Discount stores. And Ridley's I'm familiar with. I've been to a Ridley's before. Luckily they don't kick you out for carrying your bag in. That's more like that Red Apple. Some will kick you out for bringing in your bag. 13th? Wow, that's kind of a drop in blocks. So 5th is coming up now pretty quick. The library's closed, but I'll have a look. See, I'd be very interested in bicycling around this area, but I need it to be somewhat comfortable for that too. It'd be ideal to have the library access. Free, rigorous, patriotic K through 12 education. Gooding Community Garden. Alright, got a lot of corn over there. The cornfield. 8th, Washington Stampede Burger. Alright, not like the garbage burger. And Selah, Washington. What? That guy's just driving a 4-wheel all-terrain thing on this main street. So it doesn't look backwoods, but what did I say? 5th? Yeah, I keep thinking 5th Avenue. There it is, 5th Avenue. Day-night teller. Okay. So now I take this turn. Oh, all right, and then I believe the library should be on the right. Oh, I can hear my brakes squeaking. I have the AC on because I was afraid that my camera will die from overheating. But the next few days should be cooling down. Oh, the library should be right up here. There. Yeah, that's not sure. Okay, this red. Oh, okay. Police, City Hall, Library. Wonderful. Yeah, that's I don't know. Police is right next to the library. I'm not too enthused about that. Wi-Fi hotspot. I'll walk around it.